Perhaps. It's possible.
Yeah.
There's nothing's no. Nothing's yes. We'll see. I'll escape this Matrix attack, and perhaps if he needs to be taught a lesson, I'll be the guy to teach him a lesson.
Imagine,
Perhaps it's possible there's nothing's no, nothing's yes. We'll see. I'll escape this Matrix attack, and perhaps if he needs to be taught a lesson, I'll be the guy to teach him my lesson. Imagine like former kickboxing champion Andrew Tate has challenged Jake Paul to a fight in the ring and claims he would teach the YouTuber turned boxer a lesson. Tate, a four-time kickboxing world champion, has also competed in the MMA cage in his career, and has 6 fights under his belt. His total record stands at 4-2 in both amateur and professional. He would call you to fight. Would you take it? Yeah, I mean, Jake and I actually talk. He's an alright guy. There was a time we were talking about fighting each other, and I think if this, as for Paul, the social media star, enjoyed another triumph on Friday night as he overcame former undisputed heavyweight world champion Mike Tyson in Dallas, securing his win via unanimous decision. Paul was more than 30 years Tyson's junior, and their age difference eventually told in the latter stages of the contest. Speaking about the fight, Paul said, "This fight was just different. I felt a lot less nervous than normal. I'm just getting so used to these moments. Fighting in a stadium, it is less personal and less loud, so it is less nerve-wracking. Arenas are harder to fight in. Walking out, I was cool, calm and collected. Look into your crystal ball for us. Who are you fighting next? And when anyone I want. This is the biggest event, over 120 million people on Netflix." First round, I was gauging his speed and I managed to get his time pretty quick. I saw how I could tag him up and touch him. The rest was pretty much history. I just outboxed him and had fun. The win extended his professional record to 111 following the win over Tyson. The problem child has now added to his stacked CV in his career. So far, the young American has defeated the likes of Anderson Silva, Tyron Woodley, Nate Diaz, and Ben Askren. Applause. Controversial social media star Andrew Tate is seemingly open to fighting Jake Paul. Over the past 4 years, Paul has managed to make quite the name for himself in the world of boxing. However, despite attaining a record of 111, he has failed to gain the respect of the boxing community because of his choice of opponents. Most recently, he was seen in a fight against Mike Tyson. The bout, a first-of-its-kind live sporting event on Netflix, was heavily criticized because of the age disparity between the two. While speaking about Paul recently, Tate recalled the time when he was in discussions to potentially fight him. Tate suggested that he would still be down to fight Paul and said, "Event like Hezbollah on one side, you and Jake on the other. It's a tag team match, tag team me and Hezbollah against Logan and Jake. That's gonna be amazing." Yeah, that's not fair. Jake and I actually talk. He's an alright guy. There was a time when we were talking about fighting each other. If this arrest didn't happen, it probably would have come to fruition. We'll see what happens in the future. It's possible. We'll see. Andrew Tate also launched a staunch defense of Jake Paul after the 27-year-old beat Mike Tyson in the early hours of Saturday morning. Paul was widely criticized for agreeing to the bout, given Tyson is 31 years his senior at the age of 58, and the former YouTube and Disney star took full advantage of his opponent's age, with Paul winning via unanimous decision. "Oh yeah, no, but Jason, okay, I mean he's putting boxing on the map. To be fair to him, to be fair to the guy, he can sell tickets, yes, and it's amazing what we were talking early. In the short time since the showdown at the Ant Stadium, Paul has been widely condemned by many figures associated with the sport, though some believe he showed respect to Tyson by not knocking out the veteran. Others believe the clash was a farce right from the start. Tate, however, believes the younger fighter does deserve some credit because he makes fans care about boxing, while also saying he'll make more money than other competitors as a result. Jake's an okay guy. He's putting boxing on the map. To be fair to him, he said, "This is with all due respect. Nobody should give a _ about watching a 60-year-old 527-year-old, but Jake can make them care, yeah, and because he can make them care, he gets paid more than most boxers will ever make in there. To be fair to the guy, he can sell tickets. I mean, nobody, and this is with all due respect, should give a hell about watching a 60-year-old fight a 27-year-old, but Jake can make them care, and because he can make them care, he gets paid more than most boxers will ever making their entire careers for one fight." Tate previously called out Paul for a fight, and that's something the controversial 37-year-old is open to in the future. We will see. I will skip this Matrix attack, and perhaps if Jake needs to be taught a lesson, I will be the guy to teach him. Jake Paul, it's clear to me you are desperate for a reality check. You know what, if I made my money and pressing 4-year-olds on YouTube and managed to somehow become a multi-millionaire from it, I'd probably live in a dream world too. But let me explain something to you about BWhile Paul deserved his win. His decision not to knock Tyson out has raised eyebrows. Paul and Tate have been eyeing a fight against each other for some time and even involved their brothers at some point. It was Andrew Tate who called out the Paul brothers for a fight. However, Jake and Logan Paul responded to Andrew Tate's claim that he and his brother Tristan would beat the YouTube brothers in a cage match. PFL would reportedly offer each fighter $10 million to make the mixed martial arts fight happen. Well, at least according to Jake, who is the face of PFL and DO owner, if he says that's the amount then nobody can say otherwise. Sports, there are a whole bunch of men out here who will never be as famous as you, will never make the money you've made, who would kick the living __ out of you. This is the hard $20 million might be too much money for the Tate brothers to reject. Andrew, a former kickboxing champion, recently made an appearance on George Jenko podcast and said he would bet on him and his brother to beat the Pauls. You know what, I'm trying so hard not to start internet beef, I'm really trying not to. And Andrew said, I'm trying to live peacefully, but of course I have absolute faith in myself and my brother. I know we've been through it and I know the kind of man we are. One day after Jake knocked out Andre August in the first round of a boxing match, he offered the Tate brothers $20 million to fight him and Logan, who went after Tristan. The top G is a fanboy and he runs with this whole thing like, what color is your Bugatti? Andrew, like, Andrew is a fighter, a legitimate bad dude with a strong mentality. Logan said, I'm sorry, but Tristan Tate is a weak link. He has a bad shoulder and is shaped like a gingerbread man. Jake then said PFL would set it up and each fighter will take $10 million home despite the result. Logan then added they are even willing to travel to Romania for the bout. Comes out on a podcast and is talking mad __ about Logan. Check out the clip to get very clear that Logan Paul is absolutely not really a tool of the Matrix. He's a bought and sold individual with no soul. Even aside from the involve of their brothers, Jake Paul and Andrew Tate have been in negotiations over a potential high-profile fight for quite some time now. The YouTuber turned professional boxer 25 shared a video of him squaring up to Tate on social media. Paul had previously accused the kickboxer and controversial influencer of being scared to fight him or his brother Logan. No down, not only world champion of Theist, we have world champions of the back. Then when Jake Paul was due to return to the ring in early 2023 following his fight with Anderson Silva on the 29th of October and his opponent had not been confirmed yet, he had previously discussed the possibility of fighting Andrew Tate on his podcast. In a post on social media about a year ago, Jake Paul confirmed a face-to-face meeting between him and Andrew Tate. It came after Paul accused Tate of being scared to fight him or his brother Logan. Music. Paul's post on Twitter simply stated negotiations. It captioned a video in which Paul and Tate step towards each other and stare down in front of a boxing ring. Tate had previously said that any return to the combat sport world would have to be on his terms. The footage shared on social media earlier appeared to confirm that Paul and Tate are in negotiations for a boxing match. Paul is due to return to the ring on the 14th of January 2023. His opponent has not been confirmed. No soul. Him and his boyfriend Mike did endless videos supporting me, laughing about me, saying how funny I was. I'll fight him for free. Goose an idiot, bro. What do you have to say? To Andrew Tate, saying it would be unlikely for Paul to publicly post about negotiations with Tate if a possible bout was not potentially close to being agreed. We will update this article as more information becomes available. Paul had previously weighed in on Tate being banned from social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram and TikTok on his BS with Jake Paul podcast in September. Paul argued Tate should be given a second chance on social media. However, he also taunted the kickboxer, saying that he wouldn't risk his alpha male appearance to fight either of the Paul brothers. It came amid heavy speculation that Tate could be Paul's next opponent in the ring. Emma Gabby's statement is illegal. Christiana Bourne's statement is illegal. Alona Ona's statement is illegal. The seizure. The Daily Press reports that since retiring from combat sports in 2020, Andrew Tate had listed the true Geordie Logan Paul and Twitch star Hasabi on a hit list for a potential comeback fight. Paul's first and only amateur bout was in August 2018 at the Manchester Arena in Manchester. He beat Deji Olatunji, a YouTuber and brother of KSI, by knockout, his boxing nickname.